There is a curse of the Hancock building. Ever since this building opened, late 1960s, strange occurrences have happened in the building. Very first suicide happened just a few years after it was open. A possible suicide. A lady named Lorraine Kowalski, staying on the 90th floor in her apartment with her boyfriend. By all accounts, they had a very, very rocky relationship. One night, he claimed all he heard was crashing sounds, the boyfriend. Looked out and he saw that she had jumped from the 90th floor and fell to her death. Now the windows in this building are supposed to be able to withstand about 400 pounds of weight. This lady was about 98 pounds. Very skinny, frail lady. No one knows how she got up enough momentum to crash through that window and fall from the 90th floor. Her ghost has been seen throughout the building. Been other suicides in the building. Chris Farley, the comedian, not a suicide, but he did die from a drug overdose, his apartment. The girl from the Poltergeist movies, the little girl, Heather O'Rourke. There's alarms that go off in the building and they can't figure out why the alarms go off. Several small fires have broken out throughout the building. Can't figure out why those are happening. In 1930, there was a man who claimed to have been born on this site. He said there was a hospital here. No record of a hospital has ever been found here. That man's name was Anton LaVey. He was founder of the National Church of Satan. He wrote the Satanic Bible, and he claimed to have been born right here. It was built in the shape of a trapezoid, that X. Many people believe in the paranormal that the trapezoid is like a passageway for spirits to come in and out of the world. No one knows why the architect, Fazlur Khan, built the building that way. We believe this all goes back to the curse of Captain Streeter. In 1886, a seaboat captain from Milwaukee named George Streeter crashes his boat not too far from here. It's going to take him a while to repair his boat. So he asked the people that own this land if he could stay here for a little bit. They agree to that. That was probably the biggest mistake those people ever made, because Captain Streeter ends up staying for about 30 years. Where his boat crashed, eventually some sand fills in around it, creating some land. And Captain Streeter realized that the land where his boat crashed didn't belong to anybody. It wasn't on the map of the city of Chicago. It wasn't on the map of the state of Illinois. So Captain Streeter claimed that land as his own, pronouncing himself the emperor of it. He initially calls the land the District of Streeter. Eventually, it becomes Streeterville, which the neighborhood is known today. Now, this man was charging people to dump garbage around his boat. They created a landfill, which created where this building and all these other buildings are right here. He had an army of hobos that would take care of his landfill. They had a lot of cheap bars, brothels, a few sex clubs, things like that. People around here tried to get Captain Streeter off this land for many, many years. There were even battles with the police, and not just battles, things that happened in court. It was actually shootouts with the police. The cops would come here armed, they'd be shooting at Captain Streeter and his wife. He's shooting. They said one time he went into court with a loaded shotgun, pointed it right at the judge. He would wave some fake land grants that he had signed, fake signed by President Grover Cleveland. Now this went on for 30 years, till Captain Streeter started to get older. It's getting harder and harder for him to keep up the battles with the city. Finally, they won him over, burning down his boat one day, taking him hostage just as shortly after his wife had died. He ends up going to the Joliet prison for a little while. When Captain Streeter died in the 1920s, because of all the things that the city put him through, on his deathbed, he said he was going to put a curse on his land and anybody who came into it. And then this building was built here in the 1960s, several years later, and all the strange things have happened here.